Hello everyone, joining me here in Madison Square Garden. It's our two heroes, our winningest team in North America. It's Evil Geniuses, JOJO'Pun, and Inspired. Boys, we just finished the group stage, finished 1-5, got the win over G2 today. Let's start with today's matches because it was the Group B, like all the way through. Going into today, what was the mindset, brother?
I saw already teams that were 0-3 making it out, and I think our games were decently competitive against in the first half. So I thought that we still have a chance, and I was pretty hyped to play because I thought that if we perform well, we can still make it.
Yeah, Jojo.
Yeah, I was pretty much thinking the same, that these teams are obviously known to be really good teams, but I still thought that if we played well, we could win against these teams in best of ones for even more easily. So yeah, I definitely thought there was a pretty high chance that we'd make it out.
How was there any dissension or any frustration within the team in the 0-3? Did someone step up and be like, hey, that was my bad, we'll bounce back? Did anyone do that kind of a thing? Because you guys seem like such a great group of friends, even with Cowrie coming in later. What were those conversations like?
I don't think anyone in particular did that because I think no one really played perfect those games, all three. So I think it was kind of team effort that we lost the games. Obviously, some games someone made more mistakes than the other guy.
Yeah.
But overall, we were just pretty sad that we didn't get the 3 wins that we had. I think against JDG, the first game, they kind of gave it away to us, and we just had to finish it. We didn't manage to. We had one Drake away from Seoul. All we had to do was just wait for the 4th Drake and probably win the team fight. We didn't manage to. Same for that one game. I think they disrespected us so hard with the draft. I think we got a really winning draft, but I don't know. We just didn't manage to win. So I think the frustration was that enemies made a lot of mistakes and we were not able to capitalize on them, because I still think we knew we were a bit weaker team than them.
Yeah. After playing stages, you guys are the only ones that had that experience. How big do you feel the difference was when you were scrimming earlier in the year, early September or late September, now into group stages when you were getting opportunities against some of these bigger teams?
You're saying the differences of how we improved in scrims from the beginning?
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't say it changed too much. A lot of the games we're still getting stomped. But we did in scrims we were just finding out what to pick and what were the best champs to pick. So it's not like we're already set on what we want to play. So we're still trying different champions and trying them out even near the end of scrims. So it's not too surprising, honestly. Yeah.
I think Jojo is running it down in scrims every second game. We had a good game to practice, and Jojo decides to run it down and drop a 10 dev game. So nothing you can do. We talked about it, but he just can't control himself.
Yeah.
It happens.
It happens. It didn't happen on stage though, so that was good. You're playing to the edge at least. Every time you dodged caps, every time you dodged a Showmaker, I saw you flash an emote every time. It was pretty sick. Yeah. But I think that requires a couple of 0-10 boomed practices.
It definitely does, for sure.
I when it came to the draft today, because people I think are starting to get an idea. Teams have draft plans when they come in. But then you get to the stage and then it's all reaction. People really underestimate how you have to roll with the punches in draft. How much did you guys get to play drafts that you wanted to there, right? Pulling out the Lucian, going early with that seemed to be something that was pointed, but everything else around it, and adjusting to G2's draft, adjusting to JDG's draft, what were those two games like in terms of your game planning and how it played out?
I think that both games, G2 and the JDG game, I think the draft came how we wanted. I think we kind of planned on playing Lucian because Corey was crying that he doesn't want to play Varus because the champ is very unmobile and he can easily die, and he really wants to play Lucian because it's his favorite champ. So we're like, okay, sure, just play Lucian. And he played very well on it. And then the next game against JDG, I think we didn't. They picked away the Lucian, and I think Renata Kalista has a very strong matchup into it, which we knew we were gonna play it if they steal it. And so yeah, I think both drafts were very well prepared by us.
Jojo?
I mean, I agree. I think we definitely had draft edge in almost every game. I think we just made mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes too that cost us the game, so it definitely sucks. But looking at the draft, I think it was definitely good for us. Yeah.
Talk me through the Fiddlesticks pick here, because people could be just interested in that one.
I think in G2 game we were thinking about Fiddlesticks or Nidalee. We thought that we'll have hard winning bot lane that we will push and dive, but we didn't manage to play aggressive enough, and that's why the game went kind of slow, and we slowly were dying all over the place. So we decided to go for more scaling champ like Fiddle and see what happens there.
Yeah.
But I think the game would be way different if our bot lane level 1 didn't trade so much HP when they split the map.
Yeah.
Our Renata walked forward to try to force trade with Lucian Nami, but I think Cory was not ready for it because he was not in range, and Renata lost almost her whole health bar. And after that, I think winning matchup just turned into losing matchup. So our whole game plan was kind of scuffed. So I think that was a turning point in that game.
When it comes to now measuring yourself against global competition here, now for the second time, JoJo, how do you feel like you did going up against such big names in this group? Because we didn't get any softies here. These are all established, dominant guys.
I mean, they're definitely better than me. So, I mean, obviously it feels good to play against players that are better than me. I think in play-ins I played pretty well, but I think in groups, I mean, obviously they're much better players, but I also think myself, I just played worse in groups. So I would say it's both. They're better players, so it's harder, but I also didn't play as well as I should have. So, I mean, yeah, it's definitely fun to verse them, and I learned a lot, honestly, too, just like MSI, so, yeah.
Every time I ask a question that's hey, you could be critique, you always positively shit on yourself. You're positive about it and you turn it with a positive spin, but you're like, whatever, it wasn't great, blah, blah, blah. What did you do well this year? What do you feel like you did here well at Worlds? What are you proud of that you're going to leave your legacy on for the first time JoJo gets to go to Worlds? Better give me a real answer. Come on, man.
You won a game. We didn't go 06.
All right, tight.
You're talking about the whole year or what?
No, I'm talking about this Worlds experience for you.
I mean, 3-0 E was definitely a good feeling, especially when everyone thought we would lose.
Sure.
And I think I played pretty well that series too, so it definitely felt good. I mean, obviously it feels better if I think I played well in a winning game, but I would say that's probably the most big thing I'll remember about from this Worlds, probably.
Yeah. How about you, Inspired?
Probably that's the only thing that I will remember, and also breaking the streak against Jankos. I could never beat him best of one. I don't know. I remember I had so many games where we had a big lead even on Rogue, and we always somehow managed to lose that. So today, when they had a big lead, I was like, nah, no way I will lose that. So there's absolutely no way. It happened so many times that this time it won't happening.
Did you guys get a little careful there? Because it felt like, all right, we got this G2 win in the bag, and then I was like, all right, well, we're taking every Nexus, we're getting the second Baron. All right, we kind of got caught up a little bit there, Stan.
I think they were doing their best at defending, so it was kind of hard to finish the game. I think they had Azir and we had Akali, so it's kind of hard to dive them.
Yeah.
So we had to wait for that second Nash to finish to make sure that they don't get opportunity to go back into the game. So yeah, I think we took it a little bit slow, but I think we couldn't really do much different.
Let's do some forecasting here for the rest of Worlds, because you guys are the experts here. Give me 2 more champions that are going to change the meta or continue to evolve as teams start banning out or letting things through. 2 champions that you think are strong each.
That's not really picked right now?
Yeah. We tried the Fiddlesticks, Cloud9 tried Heimerdinger, and then the Max Waldo said, oh, well, Heimerdinger's being tried by teams.
Yeah, I mean, I would say Heimerdinger's one. I see a lot of,
especially China and Korea supports play it. So I can see Heimerdinger becoming, I won't become a common pick, but I can see it becoming picked.
Sure.
I think Heimer is good into Caitlyn Lux lanes and overall Caitlyn lanes. Caitlyn want to push and Heimer is good to counter the push.
Yep.
So maybe Heimer, but I don't know if people will prio Caitlyn that high. I think they will. I think the Asian teams like to play Caitlyn. Other than that, I think it's just what's being picked right now. I think Maokai, Sejuani are 2 really OP champs, and Sylas is really OP. Aatrox, and I guess that's it. I think these 4 champs that are being picked right now, I think are just the strongest. And Lucian, I think people were sleeping a bit on Lucian, but now they realize that Lucian is still good and probably it will be picked for the rest of Worlds.
Give me a team that's going to win Worlds. Who you got?
Yeah, EDG maybe? I don't know.
I think it will be RNG. I think RNG will win Worlds.
2 LPL squads here.
Yeah.
And then finally, the audience, I was very vocal about it, and I think people could hear it on the broadcast. The audience week 1 was not as North American sided as we'd hope it would be in North American Worlds, but much better here at week 2. How do you feel like the audience played into that change? Did it affect you at all after week 1 into week 2? Did it matter? How did it feel?
Not really. I was just surprised I remember at our first game against JDG that there was so many Chinese fans as well. I thought it would be like one-sided because we are in NA, and I thought that there would be a lot of EG fans, but it was actually pretty even. So that's the surprise I got, I guess. And other than that, you can't really tell sometimes which fans are cheering because it's like very loud. Everyone is cheering, so it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. It's just fun to play.
Last question: what's your biggest what's the biggest takeaway when you close out this year from the whole year? What are you going to remember 2022 by, Jojo?
What do you mean remember? Like, if I just look at this year, what will I remember the most?
Yeah, let's say you're going to have a 7, 8, 10-year career. You'll be like, all right, 2022 was this for me.
I'm probably just winning spring and going to MSI and just getting top 4 there. That's probably the biggest thing, winning spring. I mean, I don't think none of us really expected too much that we would win. We definitely thought there was a chance, but I didn't think it'd be that easy. We would just throw everyone, so that was definitely a good feeling. Yeah, probably one of the best feelings this year for sure.
Casper, this was your first year here. How do you remember it by?
I think I didn't really have very specific things, but I think the only thing that I remember is that you can win against any team if you believe in yourself and your teammates. I think the gap is not that big, at least on our team. I'm not like thinking about other NA teams because I think they don't. But I think in our team the gap is not too big, and as long as I will believe in myself and teammates, I think we can win against like very strong teams because everyone makes mistakes, and I think they can also make mistakes. And I think I didn't really have that much, like what is called, hope to beat them. But I think I should have. So I guess that's the biggest takeaway.
It's been a pleasure covering you guys for the whole year, getting to know you guys, and it's been a lot of fun. On behalf of all the fans, thanks for making it this far, making it fun. Thanks for beating the shit out of Matt Lyons. And we'll see you guys next year.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right, guys, that's it for this interview. You can catch more here on Digon Esports.